Yeah, buddy. Welcome. Here we are. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. I start to feel good when I think all the tech stuff has worked out properly, and I feel like it has. I feel like it's a good omen. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. Welcome to the Notsam studio, the newly redesigned, replenished, repolished, rebuilt Notsam studio. That's the new table. I told you we were getting a new table. If you've been an avid viewer, you're not sitting there going like, oh, a new table? Who saw that coming? I told you we were building one, and the table is built. We are here because if you're going to have a lonely Friday night, if you're going to celebrate the loneliest night of the week with the loneliest show on the internet, the loneliest name in late night, Sam Roberts Now, the only way to do it is in style, and we are in style as always. Thank you for being here. I already see that you're hitting the like button. Keep hitting the like button. I appreciate that. Don't forget, we read every super chat. Somebody, who's that? Kevin D says, looks the same to me. Well, then you don't know the difference between a rectangle and a semicircle, okay? How do you like that? Huh? Learn your shapes. Looks the same indeed. That's just showing your own ignorance, quite frankly. All super chats will get read. I see a comment every now and then. Okay. A-Hawk says, audio is mono, homie. I don't think so. I'm looking at my output. And no, I don't believe that the audio is mono. I believe that your headphone jack is jacked up. That's what I think. Look. I think if you really want to contribute to the show, you know the rule is super chat. Every super chat will get read here on Sam Roberts Now. We've got rules. We got to follow them. And here to help us follow the rules, everybody wondered, will he be back? Is it going to be a solo show? Is it going to be Drake Maverick? Is it going to be Thick Reed? Or is it going to be the man himself? Not Sam Lehman, just super chatted it in. Is Hot Dog here? Hot Dog's back, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that. Hot Dog back on the big screen. Welcome back, Hot Dog.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me have this little sabbatical that I've been having. And I'm back and lonelier than ever.
Good. It's important. You know, sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need to go on a very social outing with a lot of people to really figure out how deeply lonely you actually are. And that's when you'll come crawling back. You're all going to come crawling back. Everybody thinks they're not lonely. You know what? I'm not going to be lonely anymore. Okay, you have fun with that. You have fun with that. Instead of doing what I said, Hot Dog, from the beginning, which is embracing it. Embrace the loneliness. Celebrate the loneliness. It's all we have in this life. Once you can truly be lonely and be proud, nobody can do anything to shake you.
When the sun sets and all the friends leave and you're gone from the island and you're just at home, staring yourself in the mirror.
That's it.
Wondering what's next. You realize it's pretty lonely.
You can do all the vacations you want. But if you're not coming back to something secure, something that you feel good about, then that's a sabbatical from a terrible existence. And I won't have it. I won't have it. I'll go on a vacation and go, God, I can't wait to be lonely again. Oh, my God, these people. And guess what? I got no problem spending the majority of my life lonely. And that makes me a winner, doesn't it, Hot Dog?
Someone's got to be happy being lonely.
Hey, it's all of us. It's all of us here at Sam Roberts Now. Diz5 saying you the best. I appreciate your super chat. Jeff Johnson celebrating F Night in America. I always thought F Night in America was Tuesday, I think, in the Biden household. I think the original F Night was Tuesday, but I don't know. Maybe that's moved to Friday. Although tonight, it's no time for F Night. We do have to send the shout-outs, the rest in pieces to the big homie, Biz Markie. We lost Biz Markie tonight. 57 years young. He sang Hot Dog's theme song. You got what I need, but you say I'm just a friend. But you say I'm just a friend. I mean, Hot Dog.
Yeah.
If there was ever a time for you to relate to the passing of a true hip-hop pioneer, I would think that Biz Markie spoke to you.
This is the weekend for that. Yeah. I'll have that in my loop.
You know, I mean, all that means is maybe he left an opening for you. You know, maybe you can fill that spot. They're calling, like, I was reading all the obituaries and stuff. They haven't said what he died of yet. They haven't confirmed as of the time we're doing this show. But I guess he had diabetes that he had to lose a whole bunch of weight for. And he literally said, several years ago, he lost a ton of weight because he said he wanted to stay alive. So I don't know if the diabetes was a complication or what it was. I think there was a death scare not too long ago with Biz that it ended up
like a couple weeks ago.
No. It was longer ago than that. It was definitely months, if not more than that. But I feel like he was one of the names that popped up that people started saying R.I.P. early. Like one of those, like the manager said something to somebody and that person tweeted a thing, but it wasn't true yet.
Yeah.
They were just, and it kind of goes crazy. So I don't know what he passed on from, but, I mean, he's Biz Markie. He's a legend. Not only is he a legend, but he was doing the beatboxing with his mouth way before it was cool. Way before Justin Timberlake was doing it, in NSYNC music videos. That was Biz Markie's thing. It was a large, not classically handsome man that you couldn't help but be drawn to because of his skill and because of his charisma. And when somebody has that level of charisma and skill, that they can look like Biz Markie, but get the attention of Biz Markie, well, that's somebody that I think people like me, and quite frankly, not to put too fine a point on it, people like most of the folks that are probably watching this right now should look up to a person like that and learn from a person like that and celebrate the life of a person like that. So we celebrate Biz Markie tonight, don't we, Hot Dog?
R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. But what we want to talk about, we took a week off last week. What we want to talk about tonight is the Netflix is doing something real right with this trilogy. So I don't know if you guys are watching. It's a big weekend for me. I haven't seen it yet. Fear Street 1666, which if you really look at the numbers, if you take off the 1, that's the mark of the beast. That's 666. I don't know. I think they did that by mistake. I don't know if they realized that 1666 has a 666 in it. But, I looked at it.
The fan theories go run wild.
That's right. That's right. There could be some kind of devilish theming going on in this. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the third Fear Street yet. But basically, Netflix did something really interesting. They took Fear Street, and I don't know, Hot Dog, had you ever heard of Fear Street before the movies came out, like 2 weeks ago?
I haven't heard of Fear Street until today.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I guess that's because you've been on the islands, right? You've been celebrating. You've been having your white parties and, doing, I guess, what you've been vacationing. It's been the thing
I've been making news.
You did make news, huh?
Yeah. There's a lot of douchebaggery going on during that vacation. But no, I never heard of Fear Street.
So basically, R.L. Stine. Do you know R.L. Stine?
The name sounds familiar. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
yeah. Look, sometimes you gotta go from scratch when it comes to me.
That's true. I'm fine, and I'm fine with it. And that's the way it's been for a long time with you, Hot Dog. If I didn't appreciate that, I feel like you would not have a use in my life whatsoever. But so Fear Street, R.L. Stine, for my generation, for the generation that came up in the 90s, and I don't know if into the 2000s or not, but definitely in the 90s, R.L. Stine was basically the YA version of Stephen King. I mean, I guess he like experimented with doing books that weren't really for kids, but R.L. Stine did the Goosebumps book series. You've heard of Goosebumps?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's how I know the name.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So R.L. Stine, he did Goosebumps, and it, I mean, dozens and dozens of books. Talk about a prolific writer. I guess when you write horror books that are aimed for 11-year-olds, you don't have to sit there and painstakingly go through them. You could probably punch out a Goosebumps book in like 3 days and be like, yeah, it's a turn. Especially when the Goosebumps books started to get like to the point where there were so many of them that you had Night of the Living Dummy Part 3, the Haunted Mask Part 4, and it's like he's just writing the same book. It's the same twist, except with different people found the dummy this time because people love the book so much, But he also wrote this series of books called Fear Street. And Fear Street was basically Goosebumps except for like 13, 14-year-old, right? Like Goosebumps was good if you're like between 9 and 12. Once you get to 13.
6th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah.
7th grade is kind of pushing it.
Right. Once you get into 8th grade is when you have the conversation, right? Where like you show up to the first day of 8th grade and you're like, yo, did you get the new Goosebumps book? And then your friend who figured out what was cool before you but didn't tell you goes, ew, you still read Goosebumps? Yeah. Sam still reads Goosebumps. And I'm like, no, what? I didn't know we weren't.
No.
Who said we... When did this stop? I thought we all loved Goosebumps. What?
We sent a memo out during the summer. You didn't get it.
You didn't get it. Yeah, you weren't on that chain. Yeah. But like 8th grade is when Fear Street picks up, right? Like Fear Street is it's not adult, but it's a little bit older. Theoretically, it's a little bit scarier, a little bit gorier. So, but it was pretty iconic. It was like not quite as iconic as Goosebumps, I don't think. Did you? But you weren't like of Goosebumps, but you didn't go hard with Goosebumps, Hot Dog.
I had like 1 or 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
And I used to watch the TV show all the time.
On Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, to me, the TV show was derivative because when I was growing up, it was like you read Goosebumps, and then the scary show that you watched was Are You Afraid of the Dark? You ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark on SNick?
On what?
Bro, I don't even know.
Are you just making things up right now?
No, of course not. You would hear it was the greatest time ever. This is what people don't understand. A lot of people think that the time that they grew up was the best time ever. It becomes a stereotype. But like, luckily for me, the 90s actually was. So it's different for me. I'm not just one of those guys that say it. It actually happens to be. Like, that's why when Fear Street, they were like, this movie takes place in 1994. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. 1994 was great. 94 to 97, some of the greatest years that has ever existed on Earth.
I know. I was there. I was 2 years old.
Okay, see, that's the problem. You were 2 years old. You have to understand, right, that in 94, Friday night, like, I don't even know. I guess kids watch YouTube now, but you were living in an era when what were you watching on TV, Hot Dog?
I was watching Cartoon Network, Toonami.
Okay. Toonami. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, wait till you hear this. I had 2 fantastic nights of television. Friday nights, TGIF. Don't tell me you don't know about TGIF.
Is that?
Oh my God.
I mean, what channel?
ABC, of course, ABC.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
You didn't know shit. ABC. You did not know that.
ABC or Fox, one of those. Yeah.
Fox?
Yeah, totally.
No, not Fox. TGIF was on ABC. Do you know what the shows were? Oh my God.
I mean, this is 94. You're talking about 94.
I mean, I'm talking about television history, okay? I'm talking about some of the most important programs ever. TGIF was on ABC, and I think, to me, peak TGIF, 8 o'clock, Family Matters. Urkel, for God's sake. Tell me you don't know. I don't know about Urkel. I was so young. It's Urkel. Come on. Family.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Family Matters. Boy Meets World. I mean, you know Boy Meets World, I hope.
Yeah, I didn't watch those shows though. That wasn't my jam.
There was what was on at 9? Because they would flip around like sometimes like Full House was originally on TGIF. I think like real early on, Perfect Strangers was on TGIF. Sabrina the Teenage Witch with Melissa Joan Hart, that was on TGIF. And then, I mean, like 9:30, like this is how you knew you were staying up late on a Friday night. 9:30. I mean, you were probably raised in a type of house where you're like 3 years old and staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning. No rules.
Oh, absolutely. Party going on.
Yeah.
Going on till 4.
Right. You got a pocket full of rubbers and your mom wasn't home.
Yeah.
But 9:30 was Step by Step. Tell me you don't know
Never
about
heard of it.
Oh my God.
Never heard of it.
Cody?
I've never heard of this. Cody, like this, like the sweet life of no. I don't know.
I'm not talking about the Disney Channel here. I'm not talking about the sweet life of Zach and Cody. I'm not talking about AEW Dynamite Cody. I'm talking about Cody from Step by Step. Okay? 9:30.
I've never seen this man in my life. Never heard of this man in my life.
TGIF. He lived out in a van in the driveway, but he was super good at Taekwondo and karate and stuff like that. He was the man.
Look, my lineup was like the Fresh Prince and the Nanny and
but that's not
My
Friday.
Wife and Kids.
Kids.
No, I mean that could have been any given day.
My Wife and Kids.
Monday.
That's Damon Wayans, right?
Yeah. Those are my shows, you know? I love the Nanny. We could talk about the Nanny all day.
That sounds just like her. It sounds just like Fran Drescher. I thought she was in the Thunderdome for a second. That was amazing. No, but you had TGIF on Fridays. And then on Saturday, you had SNick, which is Saturday Nickelodeon. Right? So the 8 to 10 block, for the young adults, the YA crowd, TGIF, ABC. Saturday night, SNick. You had The Secret World of Alex Mack. Okay. You had, which I'm okay if you don't know about The Secret World of Alex Mack. That was one of those, like, if you were there for the moment, then that's for it's the shit. But if you weren't there for the moment, it didn't have lasting power. So that was all of us that existed within that like 2-year period. Like, we know what's up with Secret World of Alex Mack, but
you got a mulligan on that.
That's fine. All that, which you got to know about all that. The children's sketch show, all that. TLC did the theme song.
With the guy from SNL.
Keenan and Kel spawned off of all that. Yeah, all that was very.
I know my history.
Then they would have like a floating show or whatever, and then at 9:30 on SNick, it was Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was the meeting of the Midnight Society, where that was a scary show. Like, basically, the premise of the show was the Midnight Society would meet at the campfire every week. And every week, one person would be responsible for telling the ghost story. But, like, meeting in front of the campfire would take like a minute. And it would just set up what the episode was. And it was almost like a Twilight Zone, but for
kids.
For 10-year-olds. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it was the shit. It's the shit. So I had Are You Afraid of the Dark? I see Spartan says, Hey Dude. Hey Dude was not a part of SNick. That was during the day on the weekends. Peter Steenworth says Pete and Pete. I think Pete and Pete was on SNick for a period of time. I think that's right.
Pete and Pete was like the really creepy looking, like it was like kind of perverted.
Well, I mean,
it's show.
It's not perverted. I don't think Pete and Pete was perverted. It was like what's the word? Like Iggy Pop was on it. It was subversive. It was subversive, but not perverted.
Oh no, yeah. I was thinking about another show, Pete and Pete. Yeah, okay.
What were you thinking of?
There was like this weird show that was, I feel like it was on Nickelodeon. It was like an animated show.
Ren and Stimpy?
Really, Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking of.
Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy was one of those shows that was far too adult for children. Like, they didn't know what they were showing us. And then I saw somebody in the chat said California Dreams, and that's ridiculous. See, Hot Dog, you probably also don't know that, like, Saturday morning cartoons were a thing. Like, before Cartoon Network, it was Saturday morning cartoons. Right. Okay. All right.
Wait. What do you mean? Wait. What do you mean before Cartoon Network? Oh, the WB. I used to watch WB Kids.
No, but like, there was a before the Cartoon Network. Like Fox used to be the shit for Saturday morning cartoons.
Power Rangers, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Power Rangers would be on every day though. That wasn't a Saturday morning show. Power Rangers.
Okay, yeah, but new episodes were Saturday morning.
But X-Men,
Yu-Gi-Oh,
X-Men. Well, no,
yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh was after me. X-Men was and it would go from X-Men and then it would go into WWE Superstars, and you'd be like, Saturday, baby. You're sitting there with your soggy corn pops that you'd been nursing for 2 hours. But NBC had another block of TV that would come on at like 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, and that would be like California Dreams, Saved by the Bell, The New Class. That was when they were trying, like, YA television was a big thing back then. Like, they were trying to get everybody that was too cool to watch cartoons, but still a kid, to watch, like, live action, like, dramas. You'd have, like, City Guys, CITY, you can see why these guys, the City Guys.
That just nothing there in my head.
Yeah, no, there's probably that one. There shouldn't be. I'm okay with you on that one. That one, TGIF and SNick, you really should know. And Are You Afraid of the Dark? You should know. Like, that's ignorance.
The name does, it does trigger something,
but that was like before you were going to horror movies like that. You would, if you could stay up late and you could watch Up All Night with Rhonda Shear on the USA Network, you could see some like trauma movies or something, or you could rent your friend's Jason tape or whatever. But realistically, you were watching Are You Afraid of the Dark, and then you were reading Goosebumps books. And then, just as I was aging out of Goosebumps books, they started doing the Goosebumps TV show. So that's like, I was kind of too old for it at that point. But it brings us to Fear Street. I was into. This is the other problem with Fear Street, is that they go like, well, once you age out of Goosebumps, the Fear Street series starts. But really, once you age out of Goosebumps, that's when it's like, you don't read anymore. You know what I mean? Like
reading's lame.
Right. You figure out that reading's not cool. So I didn't read. So I didn't read any of those books. But, oh my God, not Sam Miguel just dropped something. We'll get to it, Miguel. I see you. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, don't you worry about that. But what Netflix did was, I guess they optioned this Fear Street sort of full franchise, and they created a movie trilogy very loosely based on the book series. There's like, dozens of Fear Street books, and none of them, they're not separated by date. Like, it's a different story in each book. So like Fear Street 1994, for example, on Netflix, there's no book Fear Street 1994. The movie is not based on one of the Fear Street books, but it is based on, it exists within the universe. Does that make sense, Hot Dog?
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, all completely new to me. I didn't know. I had an idea this might have been a remake or something like that,
right?
Like of an old movie. That's what I thought. But first time I'm hearing any of this, but it makes sense.
So what Netflix does, and I thought it was genius, was they created this movie trilogy, but they are putting the movies out every like week and a half or 2 weeks. So, and I mean, they stay there forever, but I watched Fear Street 1994 probably within a week of it coming out, and I was like, oh, holy shit, that was better than I thought it would be. And then they said, hey, I was like, oh, man, I can't wait for Fear Street 1978. What is that, coming out next year? And it was like, no, it's coming out in 4 days. And I was like, yes! Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, this is great. And then I watched that the day it came out, and I was like, oh, I wonder when Fear Street 1666 is coming out. And they're like, don't even worry, it's coming out on Friday. And I was like, fuck, yeah! Yes! What'd you say? Your audio dropped for a sec. Your audio dropped again. It really did.
Oh, wow. Another one.
Another one. Hey, I really like those Fear Street movies. Do you have any? And here's another one. And another Fear Street. Oh, you smart. You like Fear Street? They don't want you to get another Fear Street. So what did I make? Another one. I could watch all these Fear Street movies. And by the way, there's plenty more stories to tell, even in the movie that they set up. So basically what they have here, and you know I love my movie timelines, Hot Dog. We talk about them all the time on the show. But what they've basically set up is a trilogy that exists inside one general timeline. You start in 1994. Did you watch the trailer for 1978 yet? Or did you?
The second one?
Yeah.
I think they played a little bit of it during the post credits.
Okay. Okay. So I haven't seen 1666 yet. So I'll put that out there right now. But I turned on Fear Street in 1994, not really knowing what to expect, but just being like, okay, it's a horror movie on Netflix. I like when horror gets mainstreamed. Like, I'll support this. This looks good. I'll do it. So turn it on, and as I'm watching it, I'm going, this feels like it might be for teenage girls. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get me necessarily. I watched the whole season of Cruel Summer. It was great. I mean, some of it was bad, but the end of Cruel Summer, Hot Dog, awesome. Awesome.
I mean, it seems to be, you seem to fit that demo.
Teenage girl?
Yeah.
In terms of what I like, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I get, yeah. I'm sitting there. I found out last night that Degrassi The Next Generation, every episode is on YouTube. Every episode of Degrassi The Next Generation.
Are you binging that?
Yeah, I already watched 5 episodes. It's great. It's such a good show. But it's like a drama about 7th graders. But it's still a good show. Like, it's just a good show. So if it's good, I'll watch it. But I'm watching and I'm going like, okay. I just watched the whole season of Cruel Summer. Which, again, to me, the ending, the ends justify the means. I'm good with it. Okay? But I'm like, I don't know if I can do this again. Then I start watching and seeing all these like horror movie Easter eggs. You might not have picked up a lot of them, Hot Dog, because you're not like a horror movie nerd. But like,
yeah,
names that were used, little props that were used, even like scenes, like the whole beginning of the movie with Uma Thurman's daughter in there. That was clearly a tip of the hat to Scream, which was clearly a tip of the hat to Psycho. So they're all like little things start happening where I'm like, okay, like, I get the teenage girl stuff. I think I can look past it because it seems like they're really embracing the horror genre. And I like that. And then, you know how they got me, Hot Dog?
Where?
The gore. Wonderful violence and gore.
Yes.
That's when I was like, okay, you did it for me too.
I wasn't expecting it.
Me neither.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that because the tone in the beginning of the movie was like, oh, okay, this is going to be,
right.
You know, like,
right.
What am I watching this for? And then the gore kicked in. I was, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised.
When you see a head go into a meat cutter in a deli and you're watching it going, I'm sure that like they're going to threaten to put that head, because it's a character in the film. Like it's a character you're following. And you're like, I'm pretty sure they're going to just threaten to put that head in the meat cutter and then she'll get away. And then the head goes through the meat cutter. And you're like, oh, and you see it. You see the head get split. And you're like, this is fucking great. Yes. I knew I was watching this.
2 seconds later, another violent death. It's just stacking them up.
Yeah. It's awesome. So I got really into 1994. And the way they do it is basically it's the story about this town that in 1666, they found a witch. Like during the Salem witch trials, whatever. They found this witch. And they hung her. Hang on one sec. Let me hold on to it. And they hung her. And as they were hanging her, she was like, just so you know, I'm going to curse the town forever. And they're like, whatever. Whatever. We don't want any witches. You're dead. Like, we're hanging you. We're not going to have to deal with you ever again. And what they didn't realize was that she really did screw with them. She cursed the whole town forever. And so we're now in
promises made, promises kept, baby.
Right. And so we're in 1994, not realizing, kind of realizing, but some people don't want to admit it, that we're still dealing with this curse from 1666. So you go through, and it's, there are definitely shades of it. It, when you find out that the town of it was haunted by, this entity that takes the form of Pennywise the Clown or various other things. Like, it's not that different from this. It's a little different, but it's not that different. And you find out that the town has had a series dating back to 1666, has had a series every, could be 12 years, 8 years, whatever, every so often. Just a horrible, violent, and brutal mass murderer, serial killer shows up out of nowhere and wreaks absolute havoc on the town. And, there are shades of Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger in there too, because, hot dog, the thing with Freddy Krueger, the reason he's able to get so good is because nobody in the town wants to acknowledge that Freddy Krueger haunts people's dreams, because they think if nobody thinks about Freddy Krueger, he can't get into their dreams. Meanwhile, the people whose dreams he's in are sitting there going like, I'm trying to tell the world about Freddy, and the world's trying to be like, yo, you need to shut the fuck up.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Man.
Get off the tour bus, right? Like, I can't handle this right now. You need to go.
La 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 la.
You need to go. I was watching Dave, Lil Dicky show on FX, when they threw poor Gator off the bus because he was too enthusiastic. They weren't trying to catch that vibe right now. And I got it. They're trying to chill. OT Genesis, trying to chill. But, so it's the same thing where, the girls start going like, oh, there's a witch. This is a curse. And everybody's like, no, ain't no curse. Ain't no curse. It's just another mass murderer. We get a lot of them around here. It happens. It is what it is.
They be wilding sometimes.
We
outside.
Yeah. We outside. It's 1994. We outside. There's no corona. There's no COVID. It's 1994. What do you expect? We barely even have the internet. We don't know. We're outside. So, but, the kids figure it out, as kids always do. And so the idea is that the kids spend the movie trying to figure out how to break the curse, because generally speaking, the curse will be targeted towards one person during a given period of time. And so really the way to stop the curse while it's happening for this period of time is that the person that the curse is after has to get killed. And once that person gets killed, then the witch's curse goes away for a little while until the witch's curse decides to pop back up and go after somebody else. And what's dope as hell is that all these mass murderers, which is the way the curse always takes shape, they end up being like zombie killers, right? All the mass murderers end up getting killed, whether it's killed by the police, whether it's killed by somebody else. All the mass murderers in this town end up getting killed. But nothing kills them. They don't die. So, you saw them, hot dog. They burned them up in a bathroom and did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. So that's part of the witch's curse, that there's this group of mass murderers now that every time the witch's curse comes back, a new mass murderer shows up, and then that mass murderer gets added to the zombie killers that are going after either one or a group of people. So in 1994, they start figuring all this out. This is the first movie. And there's not going to be a lot of spoilers here. None of this is spoilers. These are plot points. And the 1978 hot dog, the second Fear Street movie, is much better than the first one. Because the first one, you really have to spend a lot of time kind of hashing all this out, right? Like, it takes time to kind of figure out, the witch's curse and this and the hand and the mall and the this and the that. And you're going through all these details that bring you into this universe. Once you get into the second movie in 1978, all that information stands, right? We've already gone through it all, so now we can just get to the action and the character building. The characters are better in 1978, and the action's better, and there's just more stuff happening. The second movie's great. So what happens?
I Is it still teenagers running around in 78?
Still teenagers. They're at camp this time.
Okay.
They're at camp. So,
Was it the camp that was mentioned in the first one?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's all connected. Yeah. It's all connected, baby. So, they figure out in 94 that there is somebody that survived being hunted by this curse. And they find her at the end of the movie. And the movie ends with her being like, well, let me tell you what happened. And they go, next time. And it's like Back to the Future 2. You know how Back to the Future ends with Marty McFly going, what, do our kids become assholes or something? And Doc goes, no, we have to go back to the future. And then the thing goes away and you're like, oh my God, I got to see this movie, right? Same thing in Fear Street, where she goes, let me tell you exactly what happened. And then you just start seeing scenes from the next movie. And you're like, oh my God, I got to see this next movie. And that's exactly, it's so great. That's exactly where the next movie picks up in 1978. Gillian Jacobs from Community is sitting there telling these kids, the ones that are left alive anyway, hey, here's what happened to me. And then, diddle-loop, 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 diddle-loop. We go back to 1978 and we do the whole movie. We get to see her whole story. She's at camp. There's another. You get to see how certain killers, like the zombie killers, you get to see how they're born. You get to see one form, like you get to see one of the zombie killers that's in 1994. You see them take shape in 1978, right? So it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Take shape, like literally take shape.
No,
or how they become
one of the zombie killers in 1994 is a character from 1978 that got killed.
Okay.
Right? So you know how like in 94 it starts with killings at a mall.
Yeah.
And the person doing the killings at the mall becomes immediately one of the witch's zombie killers, right?
Yeah.
So you know how the witch has multiple zombie killers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the multiple zombie killers from 1994 takes shape the same way the kid in the mall did in 94 happens in 78. But you've already seen them because 94 happened after 1978. So that's dope as hell.
It's dope. And the third is 1666, and we're gonna go back again.
And I'm sitting there going like, okay, like I figured, I'm like, okay, I get how you get back to 1978. And then at the end of the 1978 movie, we flash back into 94, where we kind of figure out exactly how Gillian Jacobs' character in 94 is connected to that 1978 camp. And you get the moment. You're like, okay, this is cool. Like, it's connected. And I'm going, but how do you get back to 1666? Like, what are you going to meet some old lady? Well, when I was around in 1666, I'm like, okay, R.L. Stine, you've lost me. You've lost me. But no, and I won't totally spoil the end of 78. But the end of 78 brings us to 1666. And it's not, I'll tell you, it's not dissimilar from the end of Back to the Future 2, where Marty McFly picks up the note from Doc, and Doc goes, I've been living in the Old West in 1885. And Marty McFly goes, 1885? We got to go to 1885. And then you see scenes from 1885 in the Old West Back to the Future 3, and you're like, oh my God, I got to see this movie. Same shit happens at the end of Fear Street 1978. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get to 1666 now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to watch 78 tonight.
You got to. 78's better.
66. Yeah, 66 this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch 1666 this weekend. Sarah Fear, F-I-E-R, by the way. It's just a coincidence. Is the name of the witch that's haunting everybody. Specifically, and she haunts people on Fear Street. But the name of the movie is F-E-A-R Street. And the name of the street is F-I-E-R Street.
Oh, I got confused.
But I would also, I mean, for me, if, like, my town had a haunted witch that put a curse on the town, even if it was just a rumor, I wouldn't name a street after her. You would think they would have, like, renamed the street like Joe DiMaggio Way or something like that. Just not call it
MLK,
anything.
something nice.
Malcolm X Boulevard, whatever you got to do. Like, anything's better than Fear Street, where it's like, it's called Fear Street, but not FEAR, but it is like a ton of murders have happened here. And also
Isn't that cool?
Named after a witch. So interesting, right? And you're like, no, this is like a terrible choice. Why would you name it after that person? Well, this is where we hung her. What?
It's part of our town history.
Yeah, I don't understand what your problem is here.
Yeah. The real estate is very cheap.
Yeah. Is that because of the murderers? Yeah, mainly. Yeah, it's mainly the murderers thing. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, ultimately you'll be able to watch, like, now that all 3 movies are out. I totally see. This is one of those things that you got to start at like 8:00 at night, because you'll watch all 3 in one sitting.
Yeah, I mean, you caught me watching the end of the first one as I was signing in.
Yeah,
I was like this far away. I was like, what's going on?
Right, and you kind of wanted to be like, let me skip this show and let me just go to 78 right now.
Can I just keep watching? Yeah.
Yeah. We should go on late tonight, Sam. We should go on later. I think like after these movies. And I'm telling you, I don't even care about 1666 like that. I don't even really care about 1978 like that. I wasn't alive. But you'll be like, it has the same effect. It had like the way 78 ends. You're like, I can't wait to watch 1666. So I thought they did a good job. And 78 has a ton of gore in it, like old school.
No, I'm not a big fan of that.
You don't like the gore?
No.
Like, I mean, I crushing heads with like rocks and stuff like that. Like, it's awesome.
No.
Yeah. I love when they mainstream that stuff. I love when they like reel you in, going like, no, it's just it's a horror movie for like teenagers. Come on, watch. And then, excuse me. And then they turn around and they get you with like just pulverizing, bloody blows. It's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, you think when the death comes that they do that thing where like the camera, goes to another person or something like that, and you get a reaction shot. But no, they showed that head getting sliced up real nice.
They showed it. It's awesome. And there's more of that in 78. Yeah, and then like if you look at the opening credits of Fear Street 1994, it's got, all these newspaper headlines from all the serial killers that have been on Fear Street, which we know now, are all people that have been cursed. But it's like there was one in 1953. There was like a child with a really weird doll mask on from like the 1930s.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, that creepy kid. There's that girl who I think is maybe from the 1960s. With the switchblade that was one of the zombie killers
singing.
Right. So it's like the way these 3 movies are designed. Every movie has a central, it's not necessarily who the movie's about, but every movie has a central murderer that then you also find out is being fueled by a witch, and there are zombie killers that help that murderer. But every movie, there's one new murderer. So theoretically, every one of those murderers that we see could be another Fear Street movie. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I want to see the baby one.
Exactly. Of course you want to see the baby one. Everybody wants to see that baby one. Like, Baby Boss is one of the most popular movies ever. Imagine Baby Boss, but live action, and it's a murderer. And it unfortunately does not have Alec Baldwin's voice. But other than that, seems way better.
Awesome.
Awesome is right. And I'm sure they'll do more. I hope they do another trilogy. The trilogy thing is really smart, man, to just like commit to doing the 3 movies and then just dropping them. I mean, there's probably somebody that wants to stretch this out for as long as possible, but really, I mean, catch that lightning in a bottle, drop them all within 3 weeks, and then watch. And I'm telling you, like, you'll get this wave of us talking right now because it takes people time to catch up to this stuff. There's a lot of other stuff to watch. They're over there watching. Have you seen the sketch show yet on Netflix? What's it called? I'm blanking on it. It's like you should leave or something like that.
No,
I think you should leave. I think it's called I Think You Should Leave. They just put out season 2. It's brilliant.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new shows. There's I forgot. There's one where this flight gets taken 5 years into the future and you have to come back.
No.
Yeah,
You're not watching.
It's very.
It's
Which one?
I mean, we've made fun of it on the morning show.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. Jim fell into it.
Why?
It starts with an M, right? What is it? What's it called?
I have it. I have Netflix open right now.
I'll bet you do. I had to interrupt.
Manifest.
Manifest. Yeah, we've been making fun of Manifest.
Oh well. I saw 3 episodes. I didn't mind it.
You thought it was kind of lit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, one of the gals put me on and I was like, oh shit, this is like it's like Avengers. This is like, when people disappear, they did the blimp thing and then 10 years later you're back and now everyone's moved on and
Jim said it was
husband, all that stuff.
Jim said it was real stupid, and it sounds real stupid. Like it sounds like 4 stupid people. Like he said that, that they disappear and come back 5 years later, and that's all explained within the first 7 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
and you're like, what?
That's the opening premise.
And you're like, well, why? We can't go with this a little longer? We got a whole.
It was turbulence.
We got a whole for 5 years.
Yeah,
we got a whole Fear Street movie where they're explaining this witch curse and zombie killers, and then 2 more movies to back it up. That's storytelling.
And they start hearing voices in their heads, and they're all connected.
But
and then, like one of them gets murdered.
Like, see, that's the thing. Like, you need to give people long enough to figure out that Manifest is really stupid. And then I think that like, a lot of people turned on the first Fear Street. More people turned it on when they realized there was a second movie. And now that all 3 are out, who's not going to be watching this? I mean, I guess people who still got Manifest to catch up on, but
binging, baby. That was only 2 episodes where all that happened.
Well, what happened?
Murders. They let go some dogs, and then they found there were some kids captive in there.
You talking about Manifest again?
Voices. Yeah, I am. Okay, all right. Enough of Manifest. Enough of Manifest.
Manifest is stupid.
It's okay. I like it.
I mean, I've broken down like 10 different Saw movies, and I still think Manifest is stupid. Yeah, so I recommend it, man. I recommend that the Fear Street trilogy. It's a good time. It's a real good time. Did you watch the Conor McGregor fight last week? Did you see my man Conor McGregor break his own ankle?
Yeah, and is still talking shit.
Still talking that shit. You could not shut that guy up. Now, first of all, I said this on the air with Jim, too. There's just a dramatic difference between the broadcasters that UFC brings on and the broadcasters that ESPN brings on. Like, Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman do not know anything about UFC or MMA. Like, they are talking so far out of their asses. It's insane.
Correct.
It couldn't be more clear to me. Because you know what? I'm sitting there going like, okay, I don't watch MMA at all. If I were on this pre-show, what sort of lame hot take would I give and I could just kind of get away with it? And I think like, yeah, I'd say, you know what I'd say? Conor McGregor's done. He shouldn't fight anymore. And then like right after the fight,
hot take Sammy.
Exactly, right? It's not based on anything. What the fuck do I know what I'm talking about? And then right after the fight, like Max Kellerman is on and he's like, he's done. We saw a shell of a man, this Conor McGregor. And like, I love the passive aggressiveness. Like they go back to the UFC table where you got professionals there. You got John Anik, you got Joe Rogan, you got Cormier. And they're all going like, no, of course Conor McGregor is not done. He wasn't winning in the round, but we don't know how the other rounds would have gone. That's a ridiculous premise. like just completely poo-pooing the whole, without mentioning by name that they had just heard it a few minutes earlier from somebody else on the broadcast. They were like, no, that's not what's happening. And I mean, look.
And now we go to the experts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now that we've blown hot air, and Stephen A. Smith, I mean, it's a parody now. Everybody knows he doesn't know anything about MMA. Like, their videos.
Does everyone know? I mean, I feel like he is catering to the people who just tune in for the big fights and don't know as well what's going on. And then they hear Stephen A. Smith talk about it, and they go, Stephen A. Smith knows what he's talking about.
The McGregor crowd. Like, the people who are just like, it's a big-name fight. I'll pay for it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Here's Stephen A. Smith. What do they know?
Right. No, you're right. You're right. Stephen A. Smith going like, Conor McGregor's going to have to be good at striking. And you're like, yeah, thanks, man.
Right.
He don't want to get down on the floor and grapple. Okay. All right. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, you yelling it doesn't mean you know it any better. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And I like Stephen A. Smith as a broadcaster. I like hot takes. That's why I like Conor McGregor. He talks shit. I like when Stephen A. Smith is talking shit. I mean, I don't like it when he's running around saying that baseball players shouldn't have translators. That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. That's pretty stupid.
That's what I was going to ask if you like that.
No, that one, it was like Stephen A. Smith, 2 major strikeouts. The translator hot take was probably a triple strikeout. The UFC thing was a single strikeout for me because I found it annoying. The translator strikeout was about as bad as it gets. It was so stupid. But I don't know, man. Like, maybe it's just because I'm that way with wrestling. Like, I hate it. I hate it when people talk wrestling and don't know about wrestling.
Don't you hate when they get like panelists and stuff for the shows and like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about?
I mean, I think I should tread lightly, but I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely loathe that. Yeah. And so then when I see ESPN doing it for UFC, I'm like, come on, you got experts. You got Bisbing over here. You got Cormier. You got Rogan. You got John Anik, you know?
Dana White, rang you up and said, we need a pre-show analyst.
Fuck yeah. I'd be the man. I'd be the best UFC pre-show guy. Yeah. I'd be killed. Me and Rogan just chopping it up. I'd jump into the commentary booth. Oh, shit. You see how hard he hit him, Joe? Yes, Sam. Yeah, I saw it. Like,
he's down. Just yells, he's out.
Yo, he got him, Joe. He got him. Okay. Yeah, I know, Sam. I know.
You would try to like get into that whole Joe Rogan cam where you'd hold him back and just like
yeah,
try to get a little reaction shot.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Joe?
Like, I'd be grabbing Joe's chest and Joe would just be rolling his eyes.
Stop. What are you doing?
What are you doing? I'd be like, as Joe was giving analysis, I'd be interrupting him to just with exclamations. He's got him by the knee. If he doesn't let go of the knee. Oh, Joe, you think he's going to let go? Yeah, Sam, I was just explaining what he was doing. Yeah.
You'd be great at this. You look at that.
Yeah, I'd be the man. But, yeah, look. There is a thing that occurred to me. I was like, man, if I had Conor McGregor money, what would be influencing me to fight for real? Like, why would you want to risk getting beaten up bad by a professional for money that you've already got? I mean, I get more money is always good, but
I mean, you're going to get beat up regardless when you're in that ring. Of course, you want to win while you're in there.
I mean, but why get in there?
Want to try?
Like, why? Why get in there? Once you make the Mayweather money, it's like...
That's true.
Like,
it's
why?
Peanuts.
Right? You know, yeah. I mean, it's like millions, but it's like you don't even need them anymore. Right? Like, it's not going to change your life. It's not... You've already had the life-changing money fight. So,
It's not about... I just want to fight.
But does he? I mean, I don't get that vibe either. Like, I think it is about the money. I'm pretty sure, especially when you're talking that kind of shit. Look. Here's my thing. This is where I can come in and discuss. I feel like is the shit talking and the crossing the line thing and everything. Because some people were like, "Well, Conor crossed the line," talking about the guy's wife, and some
Your
people
wife was in me DMs.
He said that. He did say that, and some people didn't like that Conor was talking shit when he was sitting on the floor with a broken ankle, because it's like, Poirier's not going to do anything because it wouldn't be right because your ankle's broke. And you're not going to do anything because you can't stand up. So why are you still talking shit? And I'm like, to me, because it's hilarious. What do you mean? Like, he's got a broken ankle. He's sitting on his ass in the middle of the octagon. And he still just won't stop talking. Like, I don't know. I find that stuff hilarious. And while I wouldn't want anybody talking about my family the way Conor did, when people go, he crossed the line, I go, they sold like 150 million pay-per-views or something like that. That doesn't, to me, say he crossed the line. To me, that says he hit the line exactly where it was. To me, when you cross the line is when you get to a place where people aren't paying to see you lose. If you're still at the place where people are either paying to see you win or paying to see you lose, then you haven't crossed the line yet. When you've crossed the line, it's when people are like, I don't even want to be associated with this. Like, this is lame. I don't want anything to do with this.
It's no money to be made here.
Right, and that's when you know that you've crossed the line, because there's no money to be made here. It's like when people are like, no, I can't, I'm not buying the Conor fight. It's boring at this point. He crossed the line. I don't want anything to do with this. If he had crossed the line, people wouldn't have bought the pay-per-view. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's what the fight business is. If you're buying the pay-per-view, if the pay-per-view is getting sold, I think you're still money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're just like kind of used to stuff like this.
Because the wrestling.
I mean, we saw Triple H, take Stephanie McMahon to a wedding place and get married against her will and all that stuff. So that's not. I mean, talking shit about someone's wife, that's not crossing the line.
No,
Triple H has done worse to test.
That's a great point. I seen a man once marry a woman in a drive-through chapel while she was unconscious just to spite her father. Then, to spite her father even more, he somehow got this woman that he married while she was unconscious the night before her actual wedding, got her to finally secretly be on his side, and then kick her dad in the balls. That's crossing the line. And by the way, I bought that pay-per-view, so maybe it wasn't crossing the line, because I bought the next one after that too.
Yeah, this is tame. This is child's play.
I seen a man get fired and then show up to work the next day, kidnap his boss on live television that had fired him, put a gun to his head until his boss on television pissed his pants, and then promised his job back, and then he pulled the trigger, and the flag said bang 316. It was a toy gun. I saw that. That wasn't crossing the line.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that was dope.
Nope.
You know how I know that wasn't crossing the line? I bought the pay-per-view. I tuned in next week. I bought the ticket.
Great.
I bought the action figure, I would have bought it if they made an action figure with a button on the back that you could make the boss piss his pants. I would have bought that. So I don't know, man. To me, that's crossing the line, not the other way around. You can see whether you cross the line by how much money is being made. That's it. All right. Let's get into it. Let's do it. There's one rule on Sam Roberts Now. Every super chat gets read. You've been super chatting. I'm going to read them. If you haven't yet, make sure you click like. Some more of you should have clicked like, really, at this point. It's kind of ridiculous that you haven't.
Let's get that hundo.
Let's get a hundo already, okay? Smash the like button. And let me read you what you've been contributing via Super Chat. Is it true, Reed Rothschild wants to know, that Hot Dog is looking to be fin-dommed? I know he was into ass play for a bit. You do you, Hot Dog. Hashtag White Boy Summer. Hot Dog, are you trying to get fin-dommed?
Like someone to like kind of take advantage of me and
Well, Finn,
call me a piece of shit.
They could call you a piece of shit. Basically, if
I don't mind that.
You don't mind like being insulted?
Yeah, call me a piece of shit, and
smack you a little bit.
Insult. Yeah, why not?
You got some issues going on, man. You gotta. I wish your self-worth was higher. You know what I mean?
That's all. Everyone has their kink. Don't kink shame.
Not trying to Army Hammer you over here.
Thank you.
No, Findom is when like guys get off on like emptying their wallets for a girl. Like they might not even be having sex with this woman. She'll just like call them and say, "Hey, whatever's in your bank account, empty it and put it in mine." And the guy will get off on doing that.
Yes, yeah.
You like that?
Not. I do not.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I'm already broke, so I don't really have much to give.
Here's how you know Hot Dog is not into getting Findomed. His last serious relationship ended because he threw a fit in a restaurant because the shrimp appetizer cost too much money, and he hasn't had a relationship since. And that was, I mean,
Oof.
six or 7 years ago. More than 5 years ago. More because Jim and I have been on the air for 5 years, so it's been a lot more than 5 years. It's like 6 or 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was small shrimp. It was like 3 pieces. I still stand by that.
How's your love life since then?
It's been a little topsy-turvy.
Reed Rothschild. Wait, Sam, are you excited for 14-year-old appropriate horror material? Sure you are. Well, I would say that this is not appropriate for a 14-year-old. I saw a person's head get put into a meat cutter. Not Sam Lehman. Yo, Sam, you remember the pinball machine episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? That one was dope. That's probably the scariest one, to tell you the truth. Most of the Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes had happy endings. The pinball machine one did not. It was scary as hell. I wouldn't watch that today because I'd have nightmares. This is scary. Rich Bird. This is like when Jim references a show from the 70s, and you guys look at him like, what are you talking about? Bro, I don't want to hear that, all right? If you're not trying to hear about TGIF and SNick, I don't know what to tell you. Dylan.
The cycle will continue. I'll be telling this to someone...
You'll be like
10 years younger.
How do you not watch Yu-Gi-Oh? And they're like, what? Dylan Ballman, I appreciate you. Jeff Johnson, Sam, the 90s were rad. Remember Andrew Cunanan? No, I mean, I know who that is. He wasn't one of the people that made the 90s rad. For more about him, though, there's a great show called American Crime Story, Giovanni Versace. Christopher Cavey, I take it you were a good lad growing up. LOL. I was very good. I was a good person. Not Sam Miguel. I'm going to save you for last. I'm going to get back to you. Matt Guglielmo, Sammy Soundbar, can you sing Jimmy's Little Piggy Boy song? No, I'm not going to sing a song for you. For $4.99? No. Christopher Cavey, I've been watching Bob Ross for a month and a half. Good on you. Dave Boston, you a chocolate chip muffin guy. Hate that question. Hate it. Reed Rothschild. I grew up on Tales from the Crypt, and before that, the Creep Show movies. Tales from the Crypt was so good. Yeah, it was. It was excellent. You ever watch Tales from the Crypt? With the Crypt Keeper?
I've heard of it. That's another one.
Dope. Dave Boston. Corn Pop was a bad dude, and a lot of people forget that. Dave Boston also says, we outside. When's the date with Sam's brother, Hot Dog?
When is the date with Sam's brother?
That's not up to you, is it?
It's not up to me anymore.
Right.
I haven't heard shit from him.
I get that. Dylan Ballman says, that Doug Bell is a real man. Dave Boston, recap Cleaver next. It's like The Godfather meets Saw. Yeah, I've heard only good things about that. Christopher Moltisanti produced that one, Hot Dog. Okay, Dave Boston. These are, Dave Boston sent in a ton of them at $1.99. Just consolidate, man. This one I'm assuming is for you, Hot Dog. F, marry, kill. Marry Jean, Sam's brother, or Angie. And Angie. F, marry, kill. Marry Jean, Sam's brother, Angie.
Let's start with kill Angie. Fuck Mary Jane. Marry your brother.
That's the right. Yeah, that's probably the right move.
That's the right call.
Yeah, I think so. Happy early birthday to Jimmy, July 19th. You got it. Dave Boston, will Denny bring in another fake bomb in September? Hopefully. Maybe we'll get him fired this time. Dave Boston.
Pretend to like test positive or something and walk around the halls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I mean, he probably won't be allowed back. There's no way that guy's getting vaccinated. Dave Bostian, Sammy and Hot Dog, who's winning Money in the Bank? Let's see.
I want it to be Shinsuke.
The fuck out of here.
I think it will be. Oh, well, what are you, a Shinsuke hater now?
I'm just saying, how are you going to give somebody the King of the Ring and the Money in the Bank within a month?
Oh, he's not really King of the Ring.
He's literally King Nakamura. He's not even Shinsuke Nakamura anymore. He's King Nakamura. You see Baron Corbin tonight begging for money? He's broke.
Yeah. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. Yeah. I think Big E is going to win it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm thinking either Seth Rollins or Matt Riddle for the men. And over on the women's side, I'm thinking Alexa Bliss would be the interesting choice.
Yeah, who else is on the women's side? It's
you got Alexa, Asuka, Natty, Tamina, Zelina. Natty, Tamina, Zelina. Sounds like a Petey Pablo song. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan might too. Naomi. And one other person.
I'm going with Bliss. Yeah.
And Alexa. Yeah. I think Alexa. Yeah. Could be Liv, though. Okay. Jordan Williams. Hey, Hot Dog, what do you think about Hunter Biden's laptop? Russian disinformation or actually his computer? Should be the biggest story since Epstein. Hey, what do you think of Hunter Biden's laptop, Hot Dog?
Get over it. Who cares about Hunter Biden? Move on.
Yeah, right. What about Don Jr.?
Bad dude.
Jordan Williams. Does Jim actually hate Hot Dog? During their media political debate last year, I felt the hate coming through the airwaves. Yeah, I think he does. I think so.
No, don't say that. I love him.
Reed Rothschild. I forgot Hot Dog destroyed his relationship over shrimp. He really is a skinflint. Great show, boys. Thank you. Yeah. Rob Thompson. Goddamn, I'm late again. Here's some cash. Get kicks tomorrow, Hot Dog. You going to try to get the ones tomorrow? I already failed on the reservations from Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action. I'm ready for another L.
What color are they?
Black, white. Mainly white with black and orange.
Ooh. I might be interested.
I've been selling shoes and saving the money so that I'll be able to grab the Travis Scotts when they come out. And I'm not even I'm not even considering the fact that I might get them for retail. I'm selling a lot of shoes now so I can have money saved so I can buy them for something stupid. Just so I can
buy them off of me.
Yeah, because you're just getting them.
Yeah.
Except you're so dumb, it'll be like, you're 9.5, right? And I'm like, no, Hot Dog, I'm a 10.5. No, I'm not a 9.5. Like they'll be the wrong size. Fabster, Tchotchke check. What's new on display, Sam? You get the Mezco vapor? No tchotchkes right now. I got this Bruiser Brody down here. But I don't have any tchotchkes right now because I don't know what the tchotchke situation is going to be like on the new table. Although you can see that is technically a tchotchke. I got this Onita pillow off Etsy. This pillow shaped like Onita. So there you go. There's a Hayabusa one next to him. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can see it on any of the cameras right now, but yeah. Appreciate you though, Fabster. Ellie Munoz. How about a Not Sam Con with a panel at Joey Rose's? I can do that. I like that. Okay. Not Sam Lehman. Sam, F. Mary Kill, R.L. Stein, Stephen King, Edgar Allan Poe. I think I'm killing. I'll probably kill Edgar Allan Poe. I'll F R.L. Stein, and I'm going to marry Stephen King. Just because I also think Stephen King would have, Stephen King's got a lot of interesting takes on things. You know, I feel like there'd be a lot of really weird, interesting conversations coming out of that head from Bangor, Maine.
Right. And Stein would just talk about the puppets for, the 5th time.
Exactly. We get it out of the way. I'd only need one night with R.L. Stein to get everything I needed out of him. You know what I mean? Yeah, pillow talk would be enough with him. Jordan Williams, Sam, who's a closer friend, Troy, Travis, or Hot Dog? Geographically, probably hot dog. Yeah, Harlem's way closer than Staten Island, right?
Or Florida.
Yeah, Florida's way far away, so it would have to be hot dog. Dave Bostian, R.I.P. Dexter Teft, struggling to breathe in heaven. I would hope that God would have helped him out in heaven. Ellie Munoz says he identifies as a Russian dude playing an Indian dude playing a Japanese dude. Pronoun, I don't know what you're saying, man. I think you might be drunk. Reed Rothschild, why do you have a football? That football is signed by Tommy Wiseau, director of the writer and star of The Room, and it is a Tommy Wiseau football. Christopher Cavey, R.I.P. Mr. Wonderful. Yes, not the Shark Tank one. Paul Orndorff, R.I.P. to Paul Orndorff. Biz Markie and Paul Orndorff. We lost them both. Okay, Dave Bostian says, hot dog, rank 'em. D-Bag, Shitloaf, Rob, Nico, Adrian. I guess in terms of best to worst.
My favorite people or best to worst workers? And that is a...
Let's go. Let's go workers, because I feel like I feel like people you could weasel your way out of, but workers you can't.
Okay, so Who do we got? We got Adrian, Nico, Shitloaf, Rob, and Derek. All right, we're gonna go. Worst worker was probably Shitloaf.
Okay.
Fourth, I would say Nico. Third, what?
Yeah, I think you're being polite.
Third, we're gonna go with Adrian.
The fuck out of here! You're not doing this. You're not being honest. He works because you still work with D-Bag. You know you think D-Bag's worse than that. You text us about it, so I don't even want to play this game.
Well, he's number one. You don't know who's gonna be number one. It could have been Rob.
Okay, how about who's the worst person on that list?
I'm gonna go.
Worst person. You only have to name the one. You don't have to rank them.
I'm gonna go. I'll go with Adrian.
Is it because he bugs you on text to teach him how to edit movies?
Sorry, Adrian.
Jordan Williams, Dustin Poirier versus both Paul brothers on the same night. Biggest pay-per-view in history. Yeah, I guess, and he would kill them both. You see, are you into the dink doink, doink dink, dink doink coin?
What?
Yeah. One of the what's the Logan Paul? Logan Paul is trying to push a new shit coin, but everybody's like, bro, you're just trying to get people. You're invested in it. Like you're just trying to flood the market and then get out.
It's just funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy it. Everyone buy it.
Yeah. All right, now let's go back to Notsam Miguel, because he dropped a huge super chat. Okay? Big super chat. He wants to know, he's just asking, can Hot Dog call Mary Jean and say, Mary, I've been wanting to say this to you ever since we came back from the DR. I am madly in love with you. Te amo. I want to take you with me to Japan. I'll pay for everything. Even right now, I lose my mind thinking about you.
Could I? Yeah, I could. Sure.
Will you?
Will I?
Yeah. I mean, I'll Venmo you half the super chat right after the show.
Say less, spam. All right. Hot Dog needs the money.
Yeah, right. I'll open my Venmo right now. I'm not messing around. Fair is fair.
Let's put this on speaker.
Be ready to cover it up. Oh, she might pick up too. Do you have the text in front of you?
Yes. All right. Might go to voicemail. Been forwarded. Okay. All right. Okay. Voice. Hey, Mary. I'm sorry I'm calling you so late. It's just that I've been wanting to say this to you ever since we came back from DR. Um, I'm madly in love with you. Te amo, and I want to take you with me to Japan. I'm going to Japan in December and want you to join. I'll pay for everything. Even right now, I'm losing my mind thinking about you. So please, call me back when you hear this. Kiss, kiss.
You did that.
There we go.
You're not bullshitting, right? That was for real, for real?
I got that.
All right. There you go.
Thank you, Miguel.
There you go.
Got it.
So what are you going to just be like, if she calls you back, oh, no, I'm just playing around, like...
Oh yeah, now that's an invite. That is a Tokyo invite.
Yeah.
Tokyo's very expensive. I don't think I could pay for everything.
You said you pay for everything.
That's a lot more expensive than the $50 I just got. But, oh no, hold on. Mary Jean's calling me.
Just pick it up and say, Mary, check your voicemail real quick.
Mary, check your voicemail real quick. I'm on the show with Sam.
All right, you call me to be on the show?
No, I'm on the show right now. Check your voicemail. I left something there for you.
Okay, tell Sam I said hi.
Sam, she says hi.
Okay, tell her I said tell her to check your voicemail.
Right, Sam says check your voicemail.
I want to hear him.
Oh, you can't right now, but just check the voicemail.
All right, I'm back.
Bye. She's partying, it looks like.
Do you think she's gonna call you back?
I mean, I don't want to pay for everything. That wouldn't make it worth the super chat. That's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, Miguel doesn't have that kind of scratch. Like, he likes to have a good time, but you know.
I didn't think that one through.
I hope it was worth.
I think that one through.
I hope it was worth the laugh, Miguel. It was to me.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while we're waiting, Jordan Williams says Handsome Rob is the least articulate boob I've ever heard, and it always sounded like he had spit in his mouth. That's not that nice. Ali Muno said, intern David, my son David, destroys them all. Absolutely does. Open parentheses, #_ says, sup, Sam, hot dog. Didn't D-Bag be all tough on the show and say if Bobo touched him, he would punch him? Then you said, then you and Jim said, no, you won't. I don't know. It does sound like.
It sounds like a D-Bag thing.
It does sound like it, yeah. And yeah. Number one, no, D-Bag wouldn't have. And number two, even if he like pretended like he was trying to, neither Jim nor myself would ever allow that to happen.
I'd love to see that fight though.
D-Bag would get his ass
D-Bag
kicked.
and Bobo?
He'd get his ass kicked. Yeah, Reed Rothschild says she'll want to go to Japan. Spartan saying stick around until she calls back. Not San Miguel says
she's enjoying herself. Let her continue her party and maybe forget about this whole thing.
Not Sam Miguel says I love you, hot dog. LOL. FFC Films, hot dog already backpedaling. Mike K says
a lot of money.
Mike K says no Jim and Sam on YouTube Thursday. WTF. It's on Sirius. What? We don't put the show on YouTube. That's a bootleg. I'm sorry you didn't get your bootleg. Just subscribe to the service. God damn it.
Mary Jean said, oh my God, I love it.
She
forgets about it.
She texted you and said, oh my God, I love it?
Yeah. Look, it's rough times right now. And this is the kind of a fendom thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah, you said no.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm so shocked.
Oh God, oh boy, this is quite a pickle you found yourself in here.
I mean, it almost made it seem pretty obvious that I was reading off of something. I don't know.
When you literally said, "I'm on the show with Sam right now."
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I thought you did that on purpose so you could subtly like kind of weasel your way out of taking responsibility for the message, which I was like, okay, I can respect that. Like, that's not a bad way to weasel out of it.
But she's shocked.
She's taking it seriously. You might have yourself a girlfriend, hot dog.
This isn't what we were talking about before the show. This is not what I had in mind.
Remember when I said, if you're ever going to date anybody, you need to stop doing bullshit? Oh, not saying flag dirt. After this, I'm going to go back to my re-listen of Tequila and Donut Day. I love it. Not Sam Lehman. I forgot to mention I've lost a cool 300 on Dogecoin. You don't want to look at my investment on AMC. I thought we were going back to the moon. What happened with AMC? Are we not doing that at all anymore?
I haven't opened my Robinhood app since SNL. I don't want to look at it.
I know. It's like I thought we were all stealing from the rich to give to the poor. Richard Branson is going into space, and I'm broke. What happened? Reed says D-Bag was big-timing theft as well. Yeah, he was.
On the reunion?
Yeah. Yeah.
He is big time.
He is. He is big time. Yeah, Dragon Reborn. The Olympics aren't cheap, hot dog. Tokyo.
I'm not going to the Olympics. Tokyo is still shut down.
When are you going? Christmas?
Going for my big 30th birthday in December.
It's like the end.
Big 3-0.
But it's like close to Christmas, right?
Early December.
Yeah.
Like the first week of December.
Okay, yeah, no. Air travel in December is usually very affordable.
Yeah.
Who travels in December? B-Herb76 says, start a GoFundMe for Hot Dog Strip. He's going to need it.
Honestly, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, man. All right, well, we'll see how that turns out. The beauty of this is that, like, I just shut this off and go to bed after this. You know what I mean?
This follows me, Sam. You just go to bed. But Mary Jean did end up in the Dominican Republic.
This is not my real life, you know? That's the weird thing about all this.
Mary Jean spent all week hanging out with my brother. Like, for you, this is a show. This is very slowly engulfing my entire real life.
It's not even your show. It's my show. It's your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Crazy, huh? Crazy how that works out. Ellie Muno says, hot dog Mary Jean wants to your Nathan. Let her squeeze one on your chest and live happily ever after. She's down for a WAP Japan. I'll watch. He's drunk, right? Ellie Munoz is drunk tonight.
Yeah, just slurring.
Yeah.
Slurring his Texas.
All right, guys. I appreciate you all. Mary Jean, I appreciate you. Hot Dog, I appreciate you. You got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to watch the show. And don't forget, subscribe to the Clips channel. I don't update it nearly enough, but if more people watch the Clips, I'll be motivated to update it. And subscribe to the Notsam Wrestling YouTube channel as well. YouTube.com/Notsam Wrestling for the wrestling channel. YouTube.com/SamRobertsNow for the Clips channel. And we'll see you soon. Have a good one, everybody. Got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. I forget that sometimes. Good night.